Australia has many museums that will appeal to people of all types of interests. So here are my top 5 museums in Melbourne. The National Gallery of Victoria is made up of 2 buildings. The main one is on St Kilda Road, right in the heart of the Melbourne Arts Precinct. It is Australia's oldest and largest public gallery, currently holding 63,000 works of art. At the time the gallery opened, Victoria had only been a colony for 10 years, but because of the gold rush, it easily became Australia's richest part, which then made it possible for the gallery to purchase larger collections from overseas. One of the major pieces they purchased was Pablo Picasso's The Weeping Woman. And here's an interesting fact: the painting was actually stolen in 1986 by a person or a group who identified themselves as the Australian Cultural Terrorists. But the good news is they returned the painting a week later and it can be viewed to this day. The NGV collection is always free to view, and both galleries often have a number of temporary exhibitions. Now, admission fees may apply to some of these exhibits, so be sure to check the website to see what exhibits are coming up and to plan your trip accordingly. Scienceworks has a stunning range of themed exhibitions and interactive scientific displays. You can experience live demonstrations, informative tours, and plenty of hands-on activities for the kids. If your family's into sports, be sure to visit Scienceworks, featuring over 20 hands-on virtual experiences. You can also take the ultimate sporting challenge, discovering your body's talents. Perhaps it's a wheelchair athlete, or a soccer goalie, or even an extreme snowboarder. The Nitty Gritty Super City is built especially for 3 to 8-year-olds and is a kid's own city to explore. Kids can create in the construction zone, record their own weather report, steer a ship, and much more. Scienceworks also features the Melbourne Planetarium, which will take you to the stars and beyond while reclining in a comfortable seat. It also features the Lightning Room, which will teach you how lightning is made. Now, keep in mind, additional charges may apply when visiting either of these 2 exhibits. Scienceworks is open daily from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Kids ages 3 to 16 will always get in free, and adults are only $8. The Melbourne Aquarium recently underwent significant expansion, now extending all the way from the Yarra River to Flinders Street. There's a new entrance built right on the corner of Flinders Street and King Street. The building was designed by architects to resemble a ship moored to the river and opened in January 2000. It is one of Victoria's premier tourist attractions, with 4 amazing worlds to explore. When you're visiting the aquarium, be sure to check out this sea turtles exhibit. Here's an interesting fact: they're actually involved in the rehabilitation of turtles that are washed down to the cold Victorian waters where they cannot survive. So they take in the sea turtles, allow them to get stronger, then they release them up in Queensland where the waters are warmer. At the centre of the aquarium is a world first: a 2.2 million litre oceanarium in the round, where the spectators become the spectacle to the marine life swimming around them. Adults admission is about $34 and kids around $20, but kids that are under 3 do get in for free. We recommend 2.5 to 3 hours for your exciting journey through the aquarium, so plan accordingly. The birthplace of Australian modernism is at the Hyde Museum of Modern Art. It's located only a short 15 minutes away from Melbourne CBD. The museum was built on the site of a former dairy farm purchased by Melbourne's most prominent art collectors. They created a collective known as Hyde Circle, where Australia's most prominent modernist painters lived and worked on the premises. Nowadays, when you visit the museum, there are several detached buildings and 16 acres of garden that go all the way down to the Yarra River. The gardens are always free to visit, but the museum tickets go for $12 for adults, and kids under 12 are always free. The Melbourne Museum is a fusion of the old world and the new. It's located in the Carlton Gardens in Melbourne, right across from the Grand Royal Exhibition buildings. The museum has several main galleries, including a magnetic children's museum and the Bunjilaka Centre, where the native Aboriginal people practice and present their culture. Be sure to take the family to the Big Box, which is part of the Children's Gallery. This great exhibit encourages kids to think about how humans, plants, and animals grow. The Melbourne Museum is open daily. Adults only cost $8, and kids from ages 3 to 6 always get in free. Once again, my top 5 museums in Melbourne are the National Gallery of Victoria, Scienceworks, the Melbourne Aquarium, the Hyde Museum, and Melbourne Museum. I'm Asha Kay, and thanks for watching. If you want to know more about Mahalo travel, click on any of the links around me and subscribe to our Mahalo travel channel and mahalodotcom. If you have any recommendations, please send us an email, requests@mahalodotcom.